Good morning, everybody. It's Javier, and I'm super excited to be with you here this morning to share with you some information and news that can help you make 2022 the best year of your life as it relates to business. And I hope you take advantage of some of the resources I'm going to share with you as well. And also some more information that everybody, in my opinion, needs to know to, again, ensure that you reach your true God-given potential as well. Everybody is muted, so if at any point you have a question, you need to unmute yourself, do so by just muting yourself and then muting yourself when you're done. That way we can control the background noise as well. Today I'm going to give you more of an update and also make you aware of some of the tools that we're going to be expanding upon at an event that's coming up in Atlanta. And I'll give you all information as it relates to that as well. Today what I want to do is just remind you of the power that you have to really focus in on some of the things that are keeping people up at night, especially those that are getting near retirement or have thought about their retirement, and some of the pension leveraging strategies that we have here through FFS and our carriers as well. And so I'll come back to that in just 1 second. But as always, I want to start with some first things first to make sure that we give you all the information. Thanks for the feedback. I really appreciate it when people give me their feedback on the tools that I'm sharing with them, because I don't want to waste your time or my time. And the 5-minute marketing planner is something that I keep hearing back from that's helping everybody stay on track. And sometimes for us to really get to where we need to be, we need to find out where we are right now. And it's amazing how we start to document what we do. We end up documenting a lot of the times what we're not doing, or how we thought we were doing one thing, but we're really doing another. And so again, I gave this free to everybody to make sure that there's no excuse, there's no reason why you are not successful in 2022. And I just thank you for the feedback. Any feedback for anybody that's on the webinar right now that wants to share with us? Have you looked at it, played with it, used it? Anybody at all that's on the webinar? You have to unmute yourself first. Anybody? 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 All right, no one's used it on this webinar. Anyways, the point is that it's $100 plan that I paid for it because it's helped me tremendously focus in on what I need to do moment by moment. And I hope you're doing it. If not, you're probably going to be out there struggling more than you have to, but leverage it, please leverage it. We gave it to everybody. The link was on the previous webinar as well. So if you're watching the recording of this, don't call me or ask me or email for it. I'm not going to reply. Go back to our channel and look for it. It's in the description section of the actual recorded webinar titled what you see here on the screen as well. So anyways, let's go on with that. And I want to remind everybody, this is the text you have to send in to be reminded of our webinar. So make sure you share it with your team, FFS 74121, or the QR code right there. My favorite part is going to be by far what we learned this week. Last week, we were talking about chapter 2. We were talking about the book titled The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I just came back from Atlanta, and I really don't feel the effects of the flight too much because I try to learn something while I'm in flight. This one was different. I took an airline called Frontier. Horrible. And my butt still hurts from the flight. And so, like I said, but I still got some reading done. And I hope you guys are reading this as well. I prepared because hoping and praying somebody does, because I know that the more you know, the more you'll be able to learn as well. And having said that, who can tell me what last week's chapter was titled? What was it about? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody. Okay. Well, okay. Well, we talked about the law of influence. Clearly, you're not influencing yourself enough here. Because you have to understand that influence is literally everything. It's the ultimate measure of leadership. And if you don't understand anything else about leadership, is that without influence, you really don't have anything. And so anyways, I was going to go into chapter 3 and give you chapter 3, but nobody's reading it, so I don't think we're going to need it, to be honest with you. And we'll just go ahead and skip it. But I will tell you this, leadership is like investing. It compounds, and there's a lot to be learned from that. But like I said, we'll need to do that. I wanted to also remind you the Thanksgiving dinner is right around the corner. It's really cool because this is the favorite part of the year for me, when it's all about giving. And it's amazing how the more you give, the more you will receive every single time. It never fails. It just simply never fails. I think an example of that was, as for those of you that know that work the specialized markets with the schools, the schools districts are big. LA Unified School District is the second largest school district in the nation, only second biggest to New York, which is the biggest district. And when it comes to marketing in these schools. Who would you say is the gatekeeper of the schools? Who would you say is the gatekeeper? Who do you want on your side if you can get them on your side? Who would it be as far as the gatekeepers of the schools? Who would it be of that whole market? Who would it be? We got a lot of people here that work in the schools, so I'm not going to wait too long. Come on, guys.
It should be the principal, secretary, receptionist.
I mean, absolutely. It starts obviously starts with the principals, but a lot of times they delegate everything to their secretary. So he's right. If I ever go to a school and I ever give a $5 thank you card, a gift card to anybody for Starbucks, it's always the secretary, because once I get in front of the principal, it's over. In the process of us arranging the giveaway of the actual dinners this year, we came across a guy who's actually pictured on. I'm not going to say who it is, but he's actually pictured in this one of our previous. Actually, he's the guy all the way to the right, the big guy. And so, turns out he is now the president of the police officers union. And so I was just calling and reaching out for purposes of selecting schools where we're going to drop off the actual dinners. And, now turns out he's the president. And lo and behold, he's like, well, I don't know if you know it or not, but my brother is the president of the LA Unified School District's Principals Union. And he's like, well, I can introduce you to him. And, once you're in with him, you're in with everybody. And so it was really cool. So I'm really excited to be working with them starting probably we're not going to do it next year because we're going to do our Thanksgiving dinner giveaway. And then we're going to do our Christmas wish list where we literally grant wishes of kids in these schools. And we're talking about them asking for a book, for a toy, for one article of clothing. And we'll show you how you can adopt that. But I'm super excited, not doing nothing but looking for ways to give more. And lo and behold, we're going to be working strategically hand in hand with the principals union as well. And what a blessing. So like I said, the more you give, the more you receive. And so I also want to just remind you that we are taking donations. I want to thank everybody who has helped us out. We give these boxes that you see here on the actual picture, excuse me, which basically consists of the box containing a turkey and all the fixings from the stuffing to, everything that a family needs for a turkey dinner is right there. And so we're going to continue to do this year. We're stopping. I forgot the exact count, but we're trying to see if we can squeeze more in there. And the only way we do that is if more people donate a little more. There's some of the pictures of the stuff that's in there from, bread to rolls to, you name it, it's all in there. You even get a tray to, bake the turkey in and all that other good stuff. But so like I said, I just want to thank Anthony LeBlanc for his generous donation, Stephen Bryan, Rhett Stafford, Teresa Barrow. Thank you very much. Just so you know, what makes us different as a nonprofit organization, which is the flag that we run this under for our kids, for our future, is that we are one of the very few, now I would say very few, there's got to be some more out there. I hope that we don't take a salary. We have to declare for purposes of the corporation, the salary of the head of the company, which is myself, or the nonprofit, and my declared income is $1 a year. And so my dollar, and I've had that same salary, by the way, for damn too long, for about over 10 years, over a decade. But $1 a year is what goes towards the salary, the executive side of the nonprofit, $1 a year, and everything else. Every single penny above that goes, to those that need it. So you don't have to worry about, it being used for other things because of the simple fact that every year for Thanksgiving, we spend a lot more than we even collect. So we make up the difference. It will happen with or without anybody's help. But thankfully, we do have a lot of good people that help out. And like Anthony, Stephen, Rhett, and Teresa, those are the 4 individuals that have donated for this year's giveaway. And it is 100% tax deductible because we are an IRS approved nonprofit organization. So you can go ahead and do that. If you are interested in donating any amount, just whip out your phone and point your camera at this QR code, and it will automatically load the PayPal donation for you. And you can put any amount that you want. We're coming down to the end of the campaign because the arrangements are tremendous when it comes to where we're going to go drop them off. We got to store this stuff. It's a lot of moving parts, if you would, to it. And so if you do want to be part of this, I'm just telling you, it's amazing how the more we give, the more we receive. And one of the things that I lost a fear of in this life is money, because I'm telling you, I've been blessed by God and by being surrounded by great people. And so I just worry more about other people, and I'm just simply kind of taken care of on the side, one way or the other. And so I appreciate that. So, like I said, everything you donate goes towards the kids or their families. We don't keep a thing. Um, I showed you the PayPal account last week. The last donation we got was, I believe, 9-10 months ago. Up until these four great people donated, we operate, whether a lot of people give or nobody gives, we operate out of our own pocket, because this is, there's more to life than just chasing money or having money. I think you have to measure one's worth by how many people we help, and at least become part of the solution and not part of the problem. There's a lot of times we find ourselves, whining and complaining and this and that, but we're not doing anything about it. So I'm just grateful that I'm healthy enough to be here, my family, and a lot of other things that I'm grateful for having you on my team. So if you are interested, just scan the QR code, and that's that. I just came back yesterday. I was at the grand of the FFS headquarters, the brand new headquarters. Beautiful, beautiful place. I loved it. It was a complete success as it relates to what we were there to do. It was a short event, 3 to 6 p.m., as you can see right there. And, things happen for a reason. Part of it was the celebration of 50 years for FFS as an entity to be in existence already, which is just simply incredible. I've been blessed to be here, not just those 15 years, but a little longer than that as well. And it was a great event. I want to thank Mr. Michael Hatter for arriving and participating as well. And like I said, it was a great event. But the best part of the event, ironically, you got to come check it out. If you get a chance to go to the home office, they've got great walls with great pictures, great memories. They've got some of the agents, like it says there, agents we serve. There's a picture of us. Picture meant a lot to me, because Jefflin was on the. I'll let you can see our teammates there from Jefflin, Paul Scott, Michael Hatter, George. Just a bunch of great teammates, friends there from various events that we have been to. And my recommendation, like I said, if you can, is to go ahead and make sure you come check it out. It is your office, and so if you get a chance, come check it out as well. It was a great event. They had a passport. You had to go get stamped, this and that. It was just really cool. Like I said, really, really cool. That was probably my favorite part. I had a cupcake bar, and they also had another one for just the donuts. Here's a wall that was really cool. It has a picture of all the dream destinations, all the places we've gone through in the last 15 years. I'm happy to say I've qualified for all of them. So I've been to all of them. It's just amazing. It's like, I feel like I'm at my funeral, because as I read this, that was in 2015. That was in 2010, 2012. I'm just, and nothing but a flood of memories comes back. And so even if you're brand new, it would definitely be worth checking out. Like, this is the wall of donuts that they had with topping. It was just a great event. But the best part was when I met with this guy. For those that don't know, this is Phil Gerlicher, who's actually the owner of FFS. And one of the things that we were strategizing, we had a sidebar meeting while we were there, was in regards to what FFS can do and what FFS hasn't done as it relates to supporting our specific team. And anybody that knows me knows that, I'm the most respectful person on earth, but at the same time, I like to speak my mind. And so one of the things that we had spoken about early months ago was the lack of support for specialized markets. In other words, a lot of what FFS does, as they should, revolves around what we call the system: friends, family, MLM, blah, 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 which we don't run. And so what I did, I ended up basically a couple of months ago raising those concerns that it was time we changed that. Andy Cohen, which most of you know from the webinar, that he was here, I think last week or whatever. He's a new sales director. His main thing was that he's going to make a commitment to bring us up to snuff on the specialized market side of the house as well. And everybody was there from the carriers. And so what ended up happening, in my opinion, the best part of this whole the whole thing, which brings me here to 2022. And what we're going to be doing for 2022 is putting a tremendous amount of focus on income of every single one of our teammates to get them to the next diamond, to elevate any and all levels of success so we can quantify or measure to get you where you should be. And here's the first thing we're going to be doing with FFS. On January 12th of next year, they're holding what's called a Specialized Markets Summit. This has never been held in 15 years, just so you know. It's the very, very first time. It's very limited as to who is going to be allowed here. This is something for members of Team Crusaders, or in other words, if I'm your EFC, then this is potentially could be open to you, not to everybody. And so it's a very, very limited event that's going to focus on everything in regards to the specialized markets. The private sector, the public sector, that's exactly what this is going to revolve around. And so we're talking about bringing in the resources to the FFS headquarters in Atlanta from the state of Vermont. We have Mr. Gilmore. David Gilmore is going to be flying down to the event on that day. We have Mr. Well, you guys met Andy. He's flying down from Ohio. And then we have Michael Harding from Anaco that's going to be coming in from across the street because he literally lives there in Atlanta as well. And other resources that are going to be brought in at a very difficult time because that's the weekend that Jumpstart takes place. And so most of these people are going to actually be already at their different locations from Virginia, Modesto, and so on. They're going to come in. And on Wednesday, January the 12th, from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., we're going to lock the actual doors to the training room, and we're going to be doing nothing but advanced training on anything from pension marketing to the CPA, so the Trusted Advisors Program that National Life has. Also, a lot of the new and being improved resources for schools and so on and so on and so on. The initial invitation is only for 10 people. That's all there is. And those 10 people are going to have until the end of this coming week to decide whether or not they can come. Your responsibility would be to just simply get yourself there and house yourself there. And the way it works with this new office is pretty cool. The back parking lot has a pathway. It looks like you're going into the woods, but it's really just a little pathway that connects you to two hotels in the back. And they're literally connected to the actual, on the same block. So once you get to the hotel, you don't need a car because you're just going to walk across the pathway and you're there. They both offer free breakfast when you stay there. We're going to have corporate discount codes. So you just basically pay for your own transportation, meaning your airfare to and from, and your lodging. We already have some of the people that I have approached. I haven't approached all 10 yet because I just landed late yesterday afternoon. And so I've called a few. Everybody that I've called for with the exception of 2 people, they haven't given me the confirmation, but all the others are in. So their slots are guaranteed and locked in. So they're done. They're coming. And so it's going to be very important because 2022 is going to be the unleashing, if you would, of the specialized markets that have been pent up for over 2 years now. And the worst thing you want to do is bring in your 2018 version of yourself into 2022 specialized markets. It's not going to work. We're also going to talk about technologies. We're also very fortunate enough to have Camille, which is on the marketing side of FFS. It's going to be making resources available, but only to those that are actually at this event, and so on and so on and so on. There's not going to be a Zoom version of it. There's not going to be a virtual. Part of the issue has been that Zoom is very convenient, but it's very impersonal. And so FFS already made a decision. They're not going to broadcast it in any way, shape, or form to anybody anywhere. And so it's either you're there or you're not. Either way is fine. But obviously, you're going to be that much better off getting re-energized, if you would, with some of the knowledge. I'm going to share one of them with you. It's an older one still, but it's still something that most people have never seen before. And some of the resources that I'm going to share with you are some of what you're going to receive there, but the updated version of them as well. And so, like I said, I get it. We're all busy. We have kids, we have grandkids, we have businesses to run and jobs and everything. If you can't make it, you can't make it. No big deal. But my recommendation, if you're one of the lucky ones that gets approached for this, is to snag it while you can. Because on Friday, the way the room is set up, it will hold up to 40 people. We're not going to go beyond 15 to 20 because there's 10 people that we obviously need there. If they can make it, great. If not, then we'll replace them with somebody else. And then what we have is like FFS verified certain names. They gave me a list of names that they thought would be ideal for this, and I agreed with all of them. And then they asked me some of the people below them, and I didn't know anybody, meaning that I don't know their teams that well to say who under you should be here or should not be here, but the leaders know. And so that's why we're giving them the opportunity to nominate basically 1 or 2 people, depending on how many spots we have. And so that's why I say maybe 15, but definitely no more than 20. If nobody has no one to nominate, then one person already nominated one person and that person was approved, then we'll stay at 10 if we have to. But so far we're at 11 potential attendees. And again, we're trying to keep it to no more than 15. But if somebody comes and says, look, I have this person, here's what they've done so far, and it warrants them coming, then we have no issue with that. But we're not going to go under any circumstance beyond 20. So it is your business. If you read chapter 2, and I'm not going to repeat the whole thing with leadership, talked about influence, and then hopefully you go out and buy the book now, because I was going to give you the free chapter 3, but I'm not. If you read chapter 3, it's going to talk to you about how it's important for you to allow your efforts to compound. And that's really, really important. And so enough said with that. I say that so that if you are one of them that's approached with this, if you're putting some numbers on the board and you want to be part of this or be considered for it, send me a text. Don't email me. Don't call me. Send me a text. Say, hey, I'm interested in the summit. And just keep it in the back of my mind as people say no or can't make it or what have you, and it opens up. And if it makes sense, then you'll be invited. Again, all you're responsible for your airfare. If you really want to go on the cheap, there's Frontier, which I don't recommend. But don't, whatever reason, don't let money ever be an issue, because a lot of the times that's part of the problem. If we have the type of mindset that we don't have the money type of thing, then that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you have to understand that you have to invest in your business, because it is a business. It's not a job. It's not like the police department telling me, hey, I need you to go receive training in Florida and pay your way there and pay your way back. Well, I'm not going to do it for my job. You should pay for it. This is not your job. This is your business. You treat it as a business. It will, pay you like a business. And so again, everybody here has my number. If not, 562-237-3683. 562-237-3683. Just send me a text message. This does not mean you are coming. It just means that, hey, I can attend if possible. And if one of the other good people can't make it, then, and there is a position available, then it'll be offered to you. So again, just send me a text. This is a summit. It's what it's called. And I can't wait for it to go on. Any questions about that before I wrap? Before I go on, any questions? Unmute yourself, because everybody's muted. Going once, going twice. All right, well, let's move forward and let's get going. One of the things that you also have to understand are some of the specialized websites that are not public, they're not promoted by National Life Group, but are out there. And, I was playing with one of them yesterday, and it's amazing how in this business, if you were to ask me, what's the big deal with let's just say with the summit, if nothing else, if you learn nothing else but how to start a conversation, how to transition. I'll give you an example. Michael Hardy was telling me how the big talk right now is with businesses and pensions, because most businesses that have pensions are trying to get out of them somehow. Number one. Number two, most businesses that want to start or consider a pension plan for their employees end up going with IULs instead. And we all know why. You should know why. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you why. So the hard part is really, how do I start the conversation? So even if you have to start the conversation with pensions, doesn't mean you're going to go sell a pension, because more than likely 99% of the time, you're not going to sell a pension. They're not going to qualify. They're not going to want to spend the money. And you're going to end up doing nothing but group listing of IUL policies, meaning all the employees can have their IULs deducted from the employer's paycheck, which has the feel of a pension, but it's a self-owned product. And that's a great thing, because the more you learn, the more your self-confidence level goes up. And the more your level of self-confidence goes up, then the more likely you are to go out there and write a lot of business. Very, very simple. And so that's why, and that's what this here is for. Okay, I just got a text. Okay, Reggie, I got you, man. Thank you. And so, like I said, that's what this is about. It's not about you becoming a master of teachers or master of cops or master of this or master of that. It's just nothing like that. It really does start. It just starts with you, educating yourself, empowering yourself, elevating your level of, self-confidence, and doing something with it. And so, like I said, this is a great website. I think everybody should be very familiar with it. In the U.S., 46% of teachers' retirement income will come from personal savings, such as a 403b or an annuity. So if nothing says start saving somewhere, I don't know what will. The teachers take note of your retirement income gap. I know a lot of George's team, especially, I know Daniela, Knock, they do a great job talking about the gap. Well, here you go. Here's a great way to put it, Peter. Pretty graphics, this and that. It just lets you do that. And so you see here, obviously, the Apple you'll need. The income you had on your last day before retirement is the whole Apple, and the challenge is your pension. It's going to replace 40 to 70%. Then that leaves you with the gap. And that's where you come in with what you do best. And so the retirement needs assessments tool. I mean, just a lot of great stuff that I think everybody here should have, needs to have. But most importantly, some of the other print material that National Life Group will give you for free. So I don't like printed stuff, but I know a lot of people feel more confident when they have something in paper. If you would, then do it. Do it. Here's the bridge. There's the gap, and there's you in the middle, showing them how to bridge the gap. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff. Especially, like I said, get ready for schools. And speaking with the president of the union, we're going to be going back into schools. So like anything else, like most things, I like to be the first one to get in to see what it's like. That's just the way I am. You know, like I said, when they announced this summit, the first thing myself and I did while we were still there is I got on the computer. I didn't wait for the corporate discounts for the hotel. I didn't wait for this. I just got on, booked my plane, booked my hotel, booked my car. I'm ready to go. So I looked at them and said, here, boom, done. Let's do this. I mean, because I think I have a better chance of mobilizing more people when I'm a do-it-first leader versus when obviously I'm not. But anyways, the lesson plan. Now, I hope you're understanding the marketing element here. I hope something speaks to you, whether it be the lesson plan, a gap with a literally bridge there, the average teacher's information there, because it's not dollar amount that matters, it's percentages, just so you know. And everything is, again, the apple, the pencil. I mean, everything here that I'm telling you about, a retirement education home room. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff, man. It makes me want to buy one if I was a teacher. But anyways, and that's what that is as well. Now, what I want to also share with you is, like I said, there's stuff you're going to get. If you want 5 of these, 10 of these, 100 of these, you're going to get this. And again, it's not for you to sit there and read it to somebody. It's intended to be a door opener. It's also intended for you to understand what to say. Like it says right there, it's an agent marketing guide that is just what I refer to as power phrases, if you would, that if you're going to walk in thinking you're going to just, kind of clean the cobwebs off of your brain from 2 years ago and hit it out of the ballpark every time, it's not going to happen. You have to be able to do this as well. And here's what I'm going to do. Let me just see if I can open up in full size the actual PDF. Hold on one second while I can pull it up so you can see it, if you would. Hold on one second, please. Maybe pull it up so you can understand what it is I'm talking about. Let's see. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open it up right now, and I'm just going to change the view a little bit. So forgive me, because I want it to be single page and I want it to be full-size screen, so you understand the power of this that you can actually have. So, okay, so it's done. Let me go back to it. And here it should be up on your screen right now. All right, cool. And there it is. So like I said, just what to say, sound intelligence, learn how to intrigue people, get them curious about wanting to know more. And then, of course, you come in and you do your thing. Hold on. And so anyways, let me just go back over here. I don't like the view. I want it to be single page. Hold on. 2 pages, single page. There you go. And so there we go. Right there, prospecting, presentation, and fact finding. Right here, survival. Oh, here's one of the biggest things that's hot right now, and I'm telling you because I'm speaking to a lot of the teachers again and principals, and that is, what do I do when I take my pension? Do I take it with the survivorship benefit or not? If you learn how that works and learn what to say and why it makes more sense to do what we've always said they should do, you're going to have no problem generating a lot of business. And when they trust you with one thing, they're going to trust you with others. On a side note, and like I said, this is a trade. I'll give you this one. Okay, let's see. Does anybody want this one? I can try to give it to you if you want. But let's see. Only if you're going to need, if you want it. Let's see. Let me go back over here. Right. Let me see if it's here. Hold on, please, 1 second. All right, so let me just get you this. Alan wants it, so I'll just give it to you. Hold on. All right, and like I said, I mean, this is. I mean, I thought that was like, man, where the hell has this been the whole time? What is this one called? Let me just pull it up real quick. All right, and I'm sorry for not having it ahead of time. I didn't know we were going to be giving it away today. This is one of the things that's really cool that NLG is bringing back, or they're bringing to Atlanta. They've never stopped doing it. This was called the TAP program. Who here knows? There's two of you that are on the webinar that I know used to do it. What's TAP? Anybody? Anybody? Let's see if anybody gets it right. Yes, Alan's right. The Trusted Advisor Program. If you want to learn how to work with CPAs, tax preparers, and so on, man, this is a really, really, really good program that they're going to be bringing to Atlanta as well. And as a matter of fact, what I'll do is this is old. Now, this is back from when we used to do it as a team. Unfortunately, the people that were the most productive with it ended up having to leave. But I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Let me see if I can open it up real quick. And you should be able to see it on your screen right now, which TAP stands for Trusted Advisor Program. So let me go back here one more time so you can kind of see it. Trusted Advisor Program. Hold on, please. 1 second. Okay, here it is. And so you should see it. This is one. Now, this is I call it the ugly version, if you would. Hold on. And what this one was, this was the old one we used to do that when we prepared it. NLG has stuff they prepared, but this is also a great talking point. If you want to work with tax preparers, we did it under LSW before, the Trusted Advisor Program, practice growth for the trusted advisor. Traditional sources of revenue for some tax and accounting practices have been eroding over the past several years, largely due to the availability of new technology and software. You know better than anyone, to remain profitable, you must consistently develop fresh sources of growth and income. And so this is where we did it. Time tested includes a referral-only program, minimal effort, does not require a license on the trusted advisor's part, fully licensed or full service add-on practice, which allows you to provide your clients with financial products and services that they need. And then we talked about the company. Then we talked about and then we just made it fillable at the bottom. And you just filled in with your name, phone number, and then that's what back then we printed them out and handed them out to tax preparers and stuff like that. Whereas now, of course, you would email it. So that's an example of what I'm talking about as it relates to the TAP program. But NLG has glossy packages that they're going to have available that they're going to give you literally absolutely for free. So which is pretty cool. So let me just pull this up, see if I can find this real quick. So I'll give it to you. Okay, here it is. Okay, I found it. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a link right now. And this one has the NLG information I just described to you, the marketing guide. Can anybody tell me if they can open it and it shows up properly? I'll wait for somebody to say yes. All right, well, we'll just go ahead.
It does.
Okay.
It opened up.
Perfect. Okay.
It's actually the National Life Group.
Perfect. That's the one it's supposed to be. Okay, perfect. That's the one. And it looks just kind of like this one, right? Like the one on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Another thing that you should be aware of, which is going to be what I'm going to share with you right now, is the pension strategies using life insurance. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and get into training you on this stuff, because if you want to really know this, come to Atlanta. But I will give you an overview of what we do. And then, like I said, if you want to, I can send you a copy of this in PDF, so nobody can change it or anything like that, because they're really picky about that. But the point that I'm saying that is hot right now, why do you think this is so hot right now? On the day of, listen to this for a second, retirement. On the day of retirement, you are faced with a tough, irrevocable decision. And that is, what option do I choose when taking pension distributions? Single life, which gives you the most amount of pension you can receive, but no benefit is provided to your spouse when you die? Or do I take the joint and survivor? In order to provide income to your spouse in the event of your death, you receive a reduced pension benefit. Why do you think that's so hot right now? Anybody?
I don't know.
Anybody?
Because it provides a means about the importance of having permanent insurance that allows them to get their full pension without having to give anything back up.
Okay, but why now though? Why? And I was talking about this with David and a few other people. But what do you think is happening right now? Well, I'll give it to you. It's not a trick question, and the answer is teachers are retiring in record numbers. Just think about the number of baby boomer teachers, which are the bulk of them, baby boomers. How many baby boomers are in this country right now, approximately?
76 million.
76 million. And a good portion of them, for a lot of different reasons, they're seeing their fellow teachers or people that they know of their age getting sick, dying. There's a lot of drama going on in schools, like there are in police departments. Everybody's retiring. If you know a cop that has been over 20 years in the service, they're getting out, man. A lot of people are just tired of everything that's going on, and teachers are no different. A lot of stuff going on. Teachers they feel they're under attack like you wouldn't believe. And so therefore they're retiring record numbers. But at the same time, this is a tough decision. What would you do? I'm retiring today from my teaching job, and they say you can get X amount of dollars for the rest of your life, or you can get less. But when you die, if Marcella's still alive, she can take over your pension at that point, but it's going to be less. And so that's what you'll learn in this PowerPoint. Do I take a single life option, which is the maximum amount you can take and just inherit my spouse in the event of my death? Or do I take less or a reduced amount and sacrifice pension income today, but I provide for a spousal benefit? Unless a pension offers a jump up restoration option, your pension income cannot be changed, even if your spouse predeceased. So I say, no, I'm going to take less because I don't want, in case after I die, I want Marcella to be taken care of. And lo and behold, Marcella dies first. Well, I can't go back and change it. It's irrevocable. That's what the thing said. So in the event of simultaneous death, your pension income is lost, your family members are immediately disinherited, nobody gets a damn thing. And that's what happens, unfortunately, too often. Here's a scenario: pre-retiree, age 55, spouse is 52. They can take a single life option of $3,000 per month, joint and survivor with 100% survivor benefits of $2,100. At retiree's death, the survivor continues to receive the $2,152 per month for life. And so this is something right up Daniela's alley, Locke, George, Kathy, or whether it be, Hatter or whatever. So I'm not going to get into it. But what I'm saying is this is the kind of stuff you need to know. This is the kind of because this is the older version. All the new stuff will be rolled out, like I said, in Nana as well, if you really want to do that. And it does the math. Life only benefit $3,000 this. We're talking about $840 a month difference, or $10,000 a year. $10,000 a year for 22 years. That cost of providing survivorship really costs you $223,000, or damn near $250,000. And lo and behold, if they qualify, of course, there are other ways they can do that. Is that a good deal? Depends. And so anyways, it just goes on and on about the pros, the cons, and most importantly, what you can do about it. And the best part about this is when you apply it to places like California, it just simply takes off with you like you wouldn't believe. It's just an incredible thing. So this is more of a self-taught thing in regards to, we don't have that kind of a time to throw it up there, but what I'm going to do is, if you want to, I can go ahead. Let me see if I can pull it up. I can't give you the master file. It's being redone as we speak right now. So what I'm going to be able to do is change this to PDF. And if you want to, I'm just calling it PowerPoint, even though it's not. You just do this. I'm going to export it. If you want this, what I can do, I'd rather give you the PDF, because don't ask me for the PowerPoint. You're not going to get it. It's being redone, revamped as we speak. And I'm not going to be the one that got it out there and somebody screwed up with it or did something stupid. If you want this one, let me know. You can read it at your own pace. But like I said, I'm asking you, I'm not being as smart. I'm just simply saying, because unlike the book, I don't want to put a lot of work into stuff that, nobody really cares about it. And I respect that if it's not your cup of tea. But I will tell you, learning should be your cup of tea, for the simple fact that it's something that affects us all. How much we know, how much we influence, and all that other stuff. Okay, Alan, it's on its way. It just went out right now. And we have to educate ourselves. We have to invest in ourselves, in our business, and so on. And so that's why I'm saying that this thing to Atlanta, I think I have one person. I think it was Reggie, which is cool. Like I said, Reggie. Okay, so Reggie, I'll put you on the list for that. If you are willing to get yourself to Atlanta for that event, just text me. Okay, just do me a favor and text me so we can go ahead and put you on the list. And I think it's one of the best investments you can possibly make in your business and yourself as well. And so I want to make sure that everybody here understands that, because I'm telling you, schools are going to come back. And here's what I will tell you. Now, I know a lot of people that are burnt out with the schools, and that's fine. But the beauty about this is you can put other people to work. You have skills. You know how to open up. You know how to throw a calendar, a staff meeting on the calendar. You don't have to be there. You don't have to go. Other people will take it and just split it. Split it. I mean, I can't tell you how good the schools have been to us, how good police has been to us. And I don't go to a lot of the schools. I don't go to a lot of police stuff anymore, a lot of the times and so on. But people do. And that's the essence of building a team and having that perpetual income, residual income, passive income at that. But in the meantime, in the beginning, there's a lot of people that wouldn't mind taking some of these applications from these teachers, if you would, and getting some income while they learn the business even more. Any questions about anything from anybody? I don't want to make this long. I want to give you guys time for questions. If you have anything, or if you have anything to share, this is your opportunity to do so. Anybody, anything at all?
Yes. I was I came in a little bit late, but what's in Atlanta?
We're having a summit. We're having a specialized market summit in Atlanta on January 12th. And so it's by invitation, and all the details will be in the recorded version of it. But it's an all-day thing from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the FFS headquarters in Atlanta itself, in Atlanta. And it's going to focus on just specialized markets. Teachers primarily, we're talking about private practices, CPAs, tax preparers, and so on, that a lot of people are trying to penetrate or already work in, but trying to refine their skills and elevate their income. That's the shortcut, just so you know. Specialized markets are the shortcuts to that type of income, because the number, I mean, as a team, our target premium is the biggest in the company. We have the highest persistency rate. We have the highest placement rate. We have everything is so much more higher, for the simple fact that these are very well qualified people, and we don't have the issues that you sometimes have in other places, that so much of the business falls off in 6, 8, 9 months, and chargebacks begin at that time. The event in Atlanta is going to be one day, Wednesday, January the 12th. I'm flying in on the 11th. That way I can be there first thing bright and early at 8:30. I'll be there at 8 at the office on Wednesday the 12th. And then I fly back on the 13th, which is that Thursday. Like I said, if you want to go on the cheap, the good news is Spirit. I saw yesterday Spirit has a flight. What's the cheapest Spirit flight you saw, George? I know you were shopping around and all that. I saw Spirit. I thought it was a mistake, but it was real. What did you see?
Yeah, I saw Spirit for round trip 130.
Yeah, that's the one I saw. Yeah,
incredibly cheap.
That was really, George? Seriously?
Seriously, 130.
That's like a dinner.
As long as you're okay with flying in a lawn chair.
Yeah, George is so cheap. He actually called Spirit Airlines and said if he could stand the whole flight for $20 less. And they told them FAA safety regulations prohibited that. So, but
I don't know if I want to fly with him now.
Yeah. And so like I said, I mean, I wouldn't do it, to be honest with you. I mean, first thing I did as soon as I got I just got it on Delta. You can't beat. I mean, I just like convenience. I just like Delta. I want to get there early. I take the early flight, like the 7 a.m. flight. We get there at 2. Whoever is there on the ground by 6, we're going to have a team dinner. If you take a later flight, you're not going to make it. We're just going to tell everybody, here's where we're going to meet for dinner. If you take an early flight and you're there by 6, you can join me for dinner that night. The next day, lunch, breakfast is provided at the hotel where you're going to stay. It's included. And then lunch is going to be provided by FFS. And then dinner that night is with one of our carriers. We're going to go to a local restaurant and just have dinner. And then the next day, George is buying breakfast at Waffle House, which I'll take. But you can go ahead and do that. And so, like I said, it's going to be a fun trip. But
that costs me money.
Yeah, hey, there you go. And so, like I said, we want to go ahead and do those things for everybody. So, like I said, it's doable if you book ahead of time. That's why we're stressing getting your reservations in right now. And anything from anybody, questions, comments?
Hey, Javier, what are the dates again?
It's going to be, the event is going to be Wednesday, January the 12th. So I'm going to fly in on the 11th, come back on the 13th. But the event itself is, so if you don't fly in on the day before, you're not going to make it in time. The 12th, 8:30 a.m. sharp. We're going to lock the doors, and anything short of somebody having to go to the restroom, we're not going to come out of that room because we don't have a lot of time. and each carrier is going to come in rolling out some pretty cool, I wouldn't call it secret stuff, but stuff that they never share with anybody else, because the rest of FFS runs the system. We run specialized market, and in 15 years, we've never had something like this. Never. So I'm looking forward to it. You wouldn't believe. Anybody else, please? Questions, comments? Okay. Well, people are asking about the book. Okay. Did anybody read it or not? Let me go back to it, because I'm about to.
I did.
Okay.
Again.
Okay. So people are asking. Okay. So I'm not mad. Guys, I'm not upset. I'm just simply saying.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, you want me to say a little bit what I got out of that chapter?
No, the question was pretty simple, which was, of course, what was last week's subject?
Yeah. So is the law of influence, and pretty much if you're not a leader, don't know you're a leader, try a nonprofit. And of course, to become a leader, it requires, like in the example of Abraham Lincoln, he didn't have knowledge. So if you don't have knowledge, if you're lacking anything, you're not going to become a true leader. And of course, you have to have followers. You must be able to influence people. And of course, I don't know how to do that yet. But you have to be able to influence people. So let's say, for instance, yourself, assuming that nobody was here following you, you wouldn't be a leader. And you have knowledge, you know how to attract people, and that is very essential. Eventually, pretty much is for a leader to be successful, they have to prove that they have done it, and they have to have the ability to have done it in the past and currently. They need the knowledge, and without it, you cannot go anywhere. That was Lincoln's problem. And the character, you have to be able to build the relationships, connect with people. And there's a couple of things I do not understand yet, that I read in the book about what the institution means. But, you have to be at the right place as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And that is very, very true, because I mean, when it comes to influence, people ask me all the time. I'll give you an example. FFS says, look, they don't doubt for a fact that I'll deliver with the people that they would like to have, the right person. And if I cannot influence my team to spend the money to go there, then it's going to be a total bust, because FFS is spending something like $12,000 just to get these people down, because they have to pay for that, because they're not part of that plan, and all kinds of stuff. But they don't. But they know that I'm going to deliver. And you're right. I mean, my way of influencing people is by letting them know and then delivering the fact that whatever money you spend going there, you're going to get times 100 when you come back and apply it back at home, wherever home might be. And whatever we do revolves around influence. Like I said, I want to help people deliver turkeys. Great. But I know that if I go and pay for 100 dinners out of my own pocket, which I'll do, but it's better if I can influence a few other people to donate as well. And in the process of them donating, more people are fed. Then obviously influence will help you get there further. So thank you very much. Because of you, everybody can say thank you to you. Let me just continue with chapter 3 then, which is the law of process. And this talks about it as an example. The book always starts with an example. Here they use Anne. Anne Schreiber was 101 years old when she died in January of 1995. She lived very modestly, and I mean very modestly. She was retired for over 50 years. She earned $3,150 a year when she retired from the IRS back in 1943. Very modest home that didn't believe in buying new furniture. She had nothing but also blah, blah, blah. Long story long, when she died, everybody was shocked when she left a gift to a university of $22 million. And they never understood how somebody with so little means could amass such a fortune. And then it was a consistency with what she did. She bought way back when a little bit of stock and split over and over. She never took the dividends. She reinvested them back into the stock. And before you know, it just simply grew by leaps and bounds. And here's what I just want to share with you from the book. And I'll give you the whole the chapter right now. Leadership is like investing. It compounds. And what that simply means is that becoming a leader is a lot like investing successfully in the stock market. If you hope to make a fortune in a day, you're not going to be successful. There are no successful day traders in leadership development. What matters most is what you do day by day over the long haul. Here at FFS, like I said, this is my 15th year. And you don't have to be 15 years to be successful. You can be here 1 year and be successful, but it is going to take time. When I talk to people about the specialized markets, or when I talk to people about CPAs, tax preparers, or whatever, I don't care if you're a realtor, loan officer. I don't care if you are a life insurance salesperson. I always tell them that you better be ready to go at least 2 cycles. Everything works in cycles. Everything in life, in nature, in business works in cycles. If you can go through 2 successful cycles, and I'm not talking about existing for 2 cycles. The rock in my front yard has been here for 50 cycles and is still just as dumb as a rock. We have to be active and successful and productive for 2 cycles. I'll give you an example. Just by talking to some of the people that we're doing, I don't even know how many years we've done the Thanksgiving turkey giveaway. And will you be here for next Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, or will you be gone to another company chasing another opportunity? I don't know. I hope not. But the point that I'm making is that with leadership, this is a great part of it, that you have to be ready to go the distance. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to the rock in my front yard. I like it. Okay, so don't start getting mad at me. But the point is that it says, how do I get it? Okay, the name, let me back up. So somebody's asking about the, here, let me back up so you can see the name of the book. And oh, hold on, everything goes with it. This is the book we're studying here. It's called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. 21 laws of irrefutable laws of leadership, 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. So what I'm going to do now, we talked about chapter 1, the lid, chapter 2, the law of influence. Now we're chapter 3 is the law of process. You got to give yourself enough time for your efforts to compound. See, the powerful thing is that I can go back now and work with, let's just say, police departments or teachers about whatever it is. If I want to sell them a refi, if I want to sell them a home, if I want to sell, I have to sell them trust first. And once they buy me, what I sell really doesn't matter as much. The guy, the president of the, well, like I was saying, the president of the company, the president of the union of police officers that I was telling you about, which is the guy all the way to the, oh, there he goes. The guy on the right there, he knew me from this event where he was there at our actual giveaway. So when I spoke to him, he said, "Oh, I know who you are." I go, "Well, listen, I'm calling because I'm interested. I know you're the president. Congratulations about organizing." "Oh, I know who you are. I've been at your events." "Oh, cool." Then I told him, "Well, as you know, then you probably see me at a roll call presentation. I also offer financial services and the other services." "Oh, yeah, I know what you do. I know what you do." And so, and then that's what he told me. "By the way, just so you know, if it helps you, my brother is the president of the principals union." And I didn't have to go tell him what I'm all about because he had seen it. But had this been my very first year, that trust element would not have been there. It never would have been there. And that's why it's so important. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send you one last thing. If anybody can click on it and let me know if it opened up to chapter 3. It should be chapter 3. Oh, shoot. Oh, I went to the okay. The Vati, I'm sorry, I sent it to just you. I want to send it to everybody as well. Hold on, please. 1 second. Okay. Can anybody see? Can anybody click on it? Just let me know if it opened up. Anybody?
Yes, it opened up. Let me see. Actually, hold on. Let me see if it is chapter 3. It opened up. Yes, it is chapter 3.
All right. Well, you have that as well. And so, like I said, if you are active, that's the key thing. I'm getting a few text messages about Atlanta. Atlanta is not how to. If you have never worked the specialized markets and you want to learn how to work this is not an event for you. You're going to be lost. So don't tell me you want to come, please, because it's not going to be. It's not that. It's going to be about bringing and building up on the skills you should already have. You should have some understanding of the specialized markets already, especially the schools or anything else. Just a good understanding you should be producing already. We're not going to teach. I'm not going to teach anything. It's going to be the main teacher teaching about how to build you up from where you are to the next level, not from zero to hero. So I don't want to mislead anybody. You get there and you're just lost the whole damn time. What is this? What is the 403B? What is that? What are you talking about? And all that other good stuff. I don't want to do that to you. So you know who you are. If you have experience in the specialized markets and you're interested in investing in yourself, and I haven't reached out to you yet personally. There's only 3 people I still need to call that are part of that group. Everybody else, you need to text me and said, "Hey, I'm down for Atlanta." You know that you had to pay your way there, your hotel, the whole 9 yards, and all that other stuff. And the spot becomes available, I'll extend the invitation to you. Like I said, we're giving the 10 people until Friday to say yay or nay. And if it's a no, it's okay. It's no hard feelings, but at least we know we can give it to somebody else so they can have enough time to go ahead and reserve the flights and all that other good stuff. And so, like I said, don't ever let, of all the things you should never do, don't ever let money be an issue. Trust me, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that will govern your entire life. Don't do that. Where there's a will, there's a way. And trust me when I tell you that it is something that I'm not going to give you I have a personal example of somebody, a family member I was helping the other day, and because of finances, whatever, and before you know it, this person's, and I'm not going to get into it now. It's like, well, it wasn't the lack of money, it was the lack of priorities that a lot of the times get us in trouble. So just be careful with that. Last call for questions, please. Questions, comments, concerns. So you guys got the PowerPoint and PDF. You've got the handout, the actual marketing guide, agent marketing guide in PDF. You got the 21 laws of leadership, chapter 3 as well. I think I have everything that I wanted to give you. You have everything that I wanted to give you. Anything else? If you see the recording of this video and you find that you liked it, please give it a thumbs up by liking it, because it helps in the rankings, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get notified of when new videos are uploaded as well. Last call. George, anybody here wants to share anything before we go? Anybody? It's open to you.
Hey, Javier.
Go ahead, Alan.
Just wanted to thank you for your leadership. Helping put this conference together is awesome, and it's very much needed. And I know that if FFS looked this way at us, it was directly or indirectly because you went to bat on our behalf. So just much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thank you. And that's my job. So I love doing that, because I know the better you guys are off, we're all off better off together as well. Anybody else, Joe? Anybody else? Anybody? I'm just telling you, I really hope you understand what 2022 is going to represent opportunity-wise. All this effort, everything's been penned up for so long that it's going to be a record-breaking year for so many people. And I'm just asking and praying that you please be one of those people. Don't just drag yourself across the finish line into 2022 from 2021, grateful that you just survived. It's about thriving. It's about reaching our God-given potential. It's about helping as many people as we can. It's about setting ourselves as an example of what can be done, and on and on and on. Become what I call the next Brian Moore. Brian is a EFC. Most of you know him. I was driving yesterday with Marcella, and Marcella was saying, only in America. Here's a guy that came to this country as a refugee, from Laos a long time ago, and was working in the strawberry fields, picking strawberries, when he saw a guy come up in a nice car, started talking to him about what he did, because this guy, worked in the fields. And make a long story longer, he invited him to a presentation. He was able to leave the picking strawberries, and today he's in his home. He lives in Atlanta, 10,000 square foot home, because of FFS and what FFS team building was able to do for him. Only in America, only in America. And so please, I want you to be one of our great success stories, but you're going to have to do your part. There's a lot of things that I don't apologize for, and the hard work and effort that success requires, I do not apologize for it. If something you can't do that. If that's the way you see it, bless your heart. I'm not into converting people. I'm into helping people reach their God-given potential with them doing their part as well. And I hope you're one of those success stories, because I'm telling you right now, 2022 is going to be a massively successful year for many people. And again, you need to be one of those people as well. No one has anything else. I just want to say thank you so much for everything. Stay safe, stay healthy. And I look forward to speaking to you here soon. And don't forget, if you're down for Atlanta, send me a text. I'm down for Atlanta, and I'll let you know whether or not you got selected later on at that time. Thank you so much.